The 9-to-5 system operates through a simple exchange. Time is traded for income. An individual sells a portion of each day. A company returns a paycheck. At the surface level, the arrangement appears fair. Work produces pay. Pay produces stability. But the system is not organized around fairness. It is organized around continuity. The system requires participation that repeats every week, every month, every year. For this repetition to occur, the structure must align incentives so that leaving becomes difficult. The first step is entry. Entry is easy. A person receives an offer. Hours are defined. A salary is promised. The exchange appears straightforward. Work during scheduled hours. Receive compensation. This simplicity encourages participation. The system does not present itself as permanent. It presents itself as opportunity. At this stage, the exchange feels empowering. Income appears where there was none. Independence seems closer. Early earnings expand possibilities. Housing improves, transportation improves. Daily life becomes more comfortable. Comfort confirms the value of the arrangement. The system is now trusted. Once trust forms, the structure begins stabilizing itself. Income becomes predictable. Predictable income allows predictable commitments, rent agreements, loans, subscriptions, insurance. Each commitment is rational on its own. Together they create alignment. Lifestyle adjusts to match income. This adjustment is gradual. Few people notice it while it happens. The apartment becomes larger. The car becomes newer. Conveniences accumulate. None of these decisions appear dangerous. Each improvement feels like progress. But progress introduces dependency. The cost of living rises alongside income. Now the paycheck is not expansion, it is maintenance. The system has shifted. At the beginning, income created options. Later, income protects obligations. Leaving the job no longer changes one variable. It destabilizes the entire configuration. Housing becomes uncertain. Transportation becomes uncertain. Routine collapses. This is the mechanism. The system does not trap participants through restriction. It traps them through alignment. Life becomes organized around the job that sustains it. This alignment makes the structure extremely stable. Participation continues because leaving becomes disruptive. This disruption is rarely experienced early. Early employment still feels flexible. But over time, the architecture deepens. Professional identity forms. Experience accumulates within a specific role. Networks develop within the same environment. Skills adapt to the expectations of the organization. The worker becomes efficient inside the system, but less mobile outside it. Mobility decreases slowly. Options narrow. The individual remains capable, but the surrounding structure becomes harder to exit. The job now anchors multiple domains simultaneously: income, routine, social identity, future planning. This anchoring is why the arrangement resembles a trap. Entry required a decision. Exit requires dismantling a life. The difference between those two actions grows larger over time. This explains the design of the 9-to-5 system. It is not simply a way to organize labor. It is a framework for stabilizing participation. Organizations require predictable labor supply. Predictability allows planning. Planning allows scale. Scale allows institutions to function. For this stability to exist, workers must remain inside the structure long enough to maintain it. The system solves this problem through gradual dependency. Each year of participation increases alignment. Each year increases exit friction. The architecture strengthens itself. The system does not require workers to feel trapped. It requires them to remain. Remaining happens automatically when alternatives shrink. This is why dissatisfaction alone rarely produces change. The structure absorbs dissatisfaction. As long as the paycheck arrives and obligations are met, the system continues functioning. The loop holds. Time is exchanged for money. Money sustains the life that requires more time to sustain. This cycle repeats. Understanding this architecture reveals something important. The limitation is not income. It is the structure of income. The 9-to-5 system pays for time. Time is a finite resource. A day contains 24 hours. A person can only work a fraction of those hours. This creates a ceiling. Even high salaries remain constrained by time. The relationship between effort and income remains linear. More hours produce more income. Fewer hours produce less. When work stops, income stops. This is the defining feature of time-based exchange. Many professions operate inside this structure. A factory worker exchanges shifts for wages. A consultant exchanges billable hours for fees. A doctor exchanges appointments for payment. The hourly rate may increase dramatically. The structure remains identical. Income flows only while time is sold. The moment time stops, the flow stops. This relationship is stable for institutions. It is predictable, but it places strict limits on individuals. There are only so many hours available. Income can rise only within that boundary. This boundary defines the architecture. Some people eventually encounter this limit. They increase their income, but discover that their time remains fully occupied. The structure has improved comfort, but not freedom. The hours remain committed. The ceiling remains present. At this point, a different approach begins to appear. Not a better job, a different structure. Instead of exchanging time directly for money, value can be created through systems. Systems operate differently. A system produces output whether or not the creator is present at that moment. This difference is structural. When time and income are directly connected, the relationship is linear. When systems generate value, the relationship changes. Work may still occur, but the output continues beyond the hours spent creating it. Examples appear across many domains. A piece of software is written once and used thousands of times. A book is created once and read repeatedly. A digital product is built once and distributed globally. A business process is designed once and executed continuously. In each case, effort occurs during creation. But income does not require constant presence. The output becomes repeatable. This repeatability separates time from income. The separation changes the structure entirely. The person is no longer exchanging hours directly for money. They are building something that operates independently. This independence is the crucial variable. When output continues without constant labor, the ceiling changes. Income becomes tied to scale rather than hours. Scale does not obey the same limits as time. A product can reach 10 people or 10 million. A system can operate continuously. The relationship between effort and income becomes nonlinear. Nonlinear systems behave differently from linear ones. A period of concentrated work may produce results for years. Maintenance replaces constant labor. The pipeline replaces the bucket. The difference between the two structures is not effort. Both require effort. The difference is timing. Linear work distributes effort across every day. System building concentrates effort earlier. The outcomes appear later. This shift in timing is difficult for many people. The 9-to-5 system pays immediately. Work today produces income today. System building often delays reward. Effort may occur for long periods before results appear. This delay introduces uncertainty. Uncertainty increases perceived risk. The 9-to-5 system reduces that risk. Income arrives regularly. Predictability replaces uncertainty. This is why the system remains dominant. It offers stability in exchange for time. Alternatives offer potential independence in exchange for uncertainty. Different structures produce different incentives. Neither structure is accidental. The 9-to-5 system stabilizes large organizations. System-based income stabilizes independent production. Each architecture solves a different problem. One coordinates labor across institutions, the other separates labor from time. People who move away from linear income are not escaping work. They are changing the relationship between work and output. They spend time building assets rather than selling hours. Assets generate repeated value. Once created, they operate without continuous presence. The difference becomes visible over long periods. The person selling hours must continue selling them. The person building systems maintains what was created earlier. Maintenance replaces constant labor. Income flows through the system rather than through time alone. This structural shift explains why some people appear to gain freedom while others remain inside the daily cycle. The difference is not motivation. It is architecture. One system exchanges time for money. The other creates mechanisms that produce value repeatedly. Each structure carries trade-offs. Time-based work provides immediate stability. System-based work delays reward but allows independence later. The choice between them is not moral, it is structural. Understanding this distinction clarifies how the 9-to-5 system actually works. It is not a conspiracy. It is a coordination framework designed to stabilize participation. People enter easily because the system rewards them early. They remain because the architecture aligns their lives with the income it provides. Leaving becomes difficult because the structure has expanded beyond the job itself. Housing, routine, identity, commitments. All of these elements anchor the arrangement. The system continues because millions of people participate within it simultaneously. Cities synchronize around it. Industries depend on it. Institutions rely on its predictability. The architecture is powerful because it is integrated into daily life. Understanding it does not automatically change participation, but it reveals the structure. Time is exchanged for money. Money sustains a lifestyle. The lifestyle requires continued exchange. The loop repeats. Alternative structures change one variable. They remove the direct link between hours and income. Work still occurs, but the output continues beyond the hours spent creating it. That difference defines the boundary between selling time and building systems. The architecture determines which path a person is inside, and architecture determines what becomes possible next.